Sa lahat ng mga teachers natin ngayong linggo, we have the lesson and we start with theology, the doctrine of God. So I would like the ushers to give the lessons to you. Have you given it out? All right, you have it. Kung wala pa yung mga teachers natin, dapat yung mga teachers ang meron. You have to take time to study this because this is not an easy lesson for you to teach. Hindi ho ito madali. Naunawaan niyo ba ako? Ha? Kinuha natin to sa Elemental Theology ni Emery Bancroft. Okay? Bakit? Yung bang katotohanan ng Diyos ay pinatunayan ng banal na kasulatan na hindi nagbibigay ng anumang argument upang i-establish ito o to prove it. Why? Because this must be accepted by faith. Kaya nga, the chief ground of belief in the reality of God is found only in the pages of the Bible. Not found anywhere else. Okay. Kaya nga, ang Bible ay hindi ito ginawa para sa atheist. Hindi ito ginawa para sa agnostic. Hindi ito ginawa doon sa mga taong ayaw maniwala sa Diyos. Ang Bible ay ginawa doon sa sumasampalataya. Okay? Hindi ito ginawa sa mga infidel. Ano yung infidel? Yung mga ayaw tanggapin ang sinasabi ng salita ng Panginoon. He rejects the Bible as divine revelation. Ngayon, pag nireject mo yung Bible as divine revelation, you will reject everything that is revealed in the Scriptures. And you would refuse to even believe what the Bible says. Kaya nga, it takes the Spirit of God to convince man to believe. Oo. Ayan. The fact of God. Ano ang mga factors pa pinag-uusapan yung katotohanan ng Diyos? Number 1, established by reason. Established by reason. You know, rational argument will tell you there's God. Sabi ko nga, the fact that there are a lot of people who believe that there is no God is the fact that there is God. Because there can be no argument that there's no God if there's no God. No, naman niyo ba? Ganun kasimple yun. Oh. At sabihin sa akin ng atheist, walang Diyos. Bakit nasabi niya walang Diyos? Meron kasi. Established by reason. Okay. Sa ilalim nito, nakalagay, the argument from universal belief. Don't you know that there is a universal belief among people that there's God? Hindi siguro ito Diyos ng Biblia. Pero the universality of the existence of God is there. Ang mga taga-bundok believe in a God they want to believe in. Ang ating history nagpapakita na ang ating mga ninuno nung araw naniniwala sa bathala. At di lamang yan, naniniwala sa negative God. Anito? Am I right? Hindi pinag-uusapan dito kung ang pinapaniwalaan mo, totoong Diyos. Ang pinag-uusapan dito, universally, there is a universal belief in the existence of God. Di ba? Oo. And those that do not believe in God, if they were not ignorant, it means that something happened for them to reject the existence of God. And there are very few of them. Meron nga ang kausap na atheist eh. Sabi ko sa kanya, ikaw ba nung pinanganak ka, at lumaki ka, hindi ka na naniniwala sa Diyos? Wala ka makikitang atheist na pinanganak. Lahat ng tao, pinanganak yan, lumalaki yan, piniwala sa Diyos yan. Kaya nga, yung aking kausap na atheist, alam mo ba't ka atheist? Hindi sapagkat hindi ka naniniwala sa Diyos. Naniniwala ka sa Diyos eh. Hindi ka lamang naniniwala sa Diyos ng Biblia. Kaya ka atheist. Naunawaan niyo ba ako? Pero may Diyos ka. At alam mo ba, ang Diyos mo ang pinakapangit na Diyos na nakita ko. Sabi niya, oh, bakit? Ikaw yun eh. Ikaw yun eh. Hindi pa nakuha. Bobo talaga. Hindi pa nakuha. Taga-UP yun. Alright. Hindi UP Tacloban, taga-UP Diliman. Alright. Now, number 2. The argument from cause and effect. Ayan. It is an accepted principle that every effect must have an adequate cause. All elements, therefore, which are an effect, must reside at least potentially within a cause. There can be no effect without a cause. Di ba? Okay. Now, look at the world. Yan ang effect. Ano yung cause? Look at how the universe is well systematized and organized. Oh. Kapag kinatuwiran mo na yan ang Big Bang, bibimbangin kita dyan, nakita mo. Kita mo kalokohan niyan, Big Bang, pinagkatapon niya, tsyong, ngayon. Lumabas ngayon yung mga planets. Eh kung Big Bang, magulo yan, di ba? Hindi, may orbit, may axis eh. Hindi nakakabanggaan yan eh. My life. My life form, mga kapatid. You know what I'm saying? My life form. Ibig sabihin, pag my life, pang effect ay life form, yung cause niyan ay life din. Hindi pwedeng hindi life ang cause ng life form. Tama ako? Kaya yung sinasabi ng mga scientists, binabago nila yung Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, hydrogen. Hydrogen itself, hydrogen alone, does not constitute life. Di ba, Bet? Panaginipan niya yun eh. Okay. The argument from cause and effect. Okay. Number 3. Sa ilalim ito ng argument from cause and effect, the element of intelligence or purposeful tendency. Tanong, may intelligence ba ang tao? Tanong, saan nakuha yung intelligence na yan? Saan nakuha? Therefore, ito yung premise. If we believe that man possesses intelligence, it must be that he was created by an intelligent being. Correct? That is the more rational view. Oo. Wala magagawa. Maraming scientist na may topak. Tinan mo ang kaibahan ng Kristiyano sa kanang hindi. Ng Bible believers sa hindi. Yung Russia, nagpadala ng cosmonaut. Kasi ang tawag sa astronaut sa Russia, cosmonaut. Di ba? Russian cosmonaut. When he was in space, he said, "Where's God? I don't see God." Yung astronaut, believer ng Panginoon. When he went to space, he said, "The heavens declare the glory of God. And the firmament show it His handiwork." Tanong, ano mas intelligent? Ano ang mas intelligent statement? Di ba? Okay. Doon pa rin sa argument from cause and effect. Ito, the element of personality. Ayan, okay. That man does not only possess intelligence, but he possesses personality. Therefore, if man is intelligent, it was caused by an intelligent being, correct? And if man has personality, it must have been caused by a personal being. Not inanimate, not being without life, but a personal being. Napakadali, di ba? Oh, pag naunawaan mo na, madali na eh. We have the knowledge that we exist. Do you believe you exist? Why do you believe that? Meron ka knowledge eh. That you exist. Okay? That's the element of personality. Now, another is the element of man's mental, moral, and emotional nature. Yan. Huwag na yung mental. Yun na lang moral. Ang tao, kahit hindi naniniwala sa tunay na Diyos, meron siyang tinatawag na moral and cultural values. Am I right? At maayos yan. Maayos. Malinis. Maka-Diyos. Saan nang galing yung qualities na yon? Are the qualities that man possesses as far as mental, moral, and emotional value or nature is innate in man, or it is an effect of a cause? Yan. It is an effect of a cause. Man has a conscience, and our conscience dictates our values. Whether it be that your values is based on the Bible or not. But your conscience dictates your values. Because your conscience tells you what you ought to do and what you ought not to do. Am I right? Conscience yan. Meron ka yan eh. Tama? Meron ka yan. Kahit na hindi mo alam ang Bible. Ang conscience mo nagsasabing, dapat ko bang gawin to o hindi ko dapat gawin ito? Therefore, if your conscience is the effect, there must be a cause. Okay. Sabi nito, morality is obligatory, not optional. That's why laws are based on morals. Alam mo, ako, believe ako kay Johnny, Manong Johnny, Juan Ponce Enrile. Yale graduate yan. Bar top notcher yan. Talino yan, di ba? Kita nyo yung impeachment, talino. Pero sa isang bagay hindi siya matalino. Nung kami nag-uusap nung araw, senador siya, sapagkat sinusuportahan niya ang creation ng Film Academy in which 100 films will be shown in public without any censorship. So when we were talking about that, and I was telling him that I'm against it. Why? Because it is a moral issue. Ano sabi niya sa akin? Well, you know, you cannot legislate morality. Sabi ko sa kanya, true. Do you know why? Because moral is the basis of law. Magaling na abogado yan. Hindi ako abogado, ha? Morality is the basis of law. Nag-isip siya nun eh. Nag-isip yung Yale graduate sa sinabi ng Bible College graduate lang. Nag-isip. Tanggalin mo ang morals. Walang batas. Ang sabi ng Bible, that man, anong sabi sa Genesis? You leave man to his own conscience without any morals. He will do what is right in his own eyes. And if there are 1 billion people in the world, there are 1 billion rights in the mind. Therefore, there must be moral values in every culture. Culture is not dictated by one man. Culture is dictated by a community of people that would like to live decently. And that has been accepted as what? A moral norm, Julie. Okay. Ayan nakalagay, morality is what? Obligatory. Pero ngayon, marami ng batas ngayon that is no longer based on absolute values. Why? Because many laws of the day, like the RH law, is based on what? Situational ethics. Naunawaan niyo ba yan? Situation ethics. Napabatay sa situation ethics. Iba na ang panahon ngayon. So it must adjust. Meron ako nakausap na isang abogado, magaling na abogado. Sabi niya sa akin, you know what? I don't believe in God and I don't believe in absolutes. Sabi ko sa kanya, you know what? You are a very good lawyer. If you do not believe in absolute, you are an ignorant lawyer. Do you know why? Because the laws that you speak of are based upon an absolute basis of law. What's that? The Constitution. Well, it's changed by man. O, totoo yun. Totoo yun. As long as it is in effect, that is an absolute law where all other laws are based from. Tama? That's the reason why any law that is made by Congress and passed by Congress can be questioned in the Supreme Court as far as its constitutionality is concerned. Tama ba? And when there is no question, because only the Supreme Court can judge if a certain law passed by Congress is constitutional or not. Tama ba ako, lawyers? Oh. Ngayon, if there's no question, look if there's no question on the constitutionality of a certain law, therefore, it is received and accepted as what? As constitutional. O, pwede na ako magturo ng law, di ba? Hindi kine-question eh. Kaya ako, palagay ko I will question. Henry, pag-alam mo I will question the constitutionality of our taxes. Di ba? Why? Because there are some taxes that are violative of my human rights. You know? Maraming bagay eh. Especially, ang pinapaniwalaan na Greco for Senator Movement. Boto nyo si Greco kahit di mananalo yan. Okay. So the element of man's mental, moral, and emotional nature. Alam nyo, halos walang pagkakaiba ang pag-aaral ng law saka ng theology. Do you know that? Halos wala yan. Okay. Now, fourthly, ating pinag-uusapan pa, yung cause and effect, the element of power. The heavens and the earth and man himself are the witnessing result of a power that is both superhuman and supernatural. There is such a supernatural power in which no human can ever argue. Tama? And therefore, If there is such a supernatural power, then the cause must be a supernatural being. Halos nga lahat ng movies ngayon superheroes eh. Wala kang makikitang atheist na naniniwala sa Transformers. Kinakailangan maniwala siya sa isang being that is stronger and higher than himself. And that to him is what? God. Di ba? And then number 3, the argument from evident harmony of belief in God with existing facts. Sabi dito, when we come to consider the earth in itself, that is apart from the other members of the solar system, we find no escape from the conviction that a creative hand fashioned it. The arts, the whole universe is an art in harmony together. In fact, there are some scientists that said, that traveled in space, that the whole universe is music. They can hear music. It's art. Di ba nakakita na kayo nung, ako hindi pa ako kasi nakado sa, telescope, nakita ko talaga yung real ng mga planets, pero nakita naman yung di ba, yung picture ng planets, di ba? Nakikita nyo, very organized, very systematic, art eh. Hindi magulo eh. Even the scientists believe, that in our own solar system alone, where the sun is the chief star, am I right? Oo. Where they say that the solar system belongs to the Milky Way, for example, that there are around 500 galaxies in the whole universe. And one of them is just the galaxy in which the Earth is included. And that is the Milky Way. When I was young, I thought Milky Way was an ice cream. Galaxy pala yun. Ngayon, galaxy, chocolate na. Just imagine, pwede mo bang, don't you get overwhelmed even to realize there are more than 500 galaxies in the whole universe? And don't you realize that one galaxy, the Milky Way, has more than 500,000 ba yun? Stars? 500 million stars? Eh, pag hindi ka naniwala sa isang creative hand na nag-create niyan, terrible, dapat ka nakakonfine sa mental hospital. Hindi tama eh. Hindi rational yung thinking na yan eh. For example, maniniwala ako sa Big Bang Theory. Can you imagine the Big Bang Theory producing millions upon millions of stars, mga kapatid? Okay, tanong, what galaxy did the Big Bang Theory create? And right now, they're still discovering galaxies in the universe. Don't you know that? Kaya ako, gusto ko sanang kumuha ng talagang electron telescope para makapag-discover din ako ng planet, ipapangalan ko sa sarili ko. And then, lastly, established by revelation. Ito na ngayon ang Bible. That the existence of God is established by revelation, and if you really want to believe that God is there, You cannot put your faith upon any other element or any other argument but the revelation of God, the Bible. Okay na, di ba? Ayos na. Sino may tanong? Sino may tanong sa inyo? Oh, Pastor, may Diyos ba? Oh, sino may tanong? Baka meron kayong bagong argument, sabihin nyo lang. Wala na? Okay. Now, folks, sinabi ko na yung agency na dapat ating makita yung growth ng attendance natin is the Sunday school classes. So I'm hoping that this coming Sunday, maabot natin yung ating goals. At ang goal na dapat abutin sa main church ay 500 adults and young people. That's the goal. And if we will visit tomorrow night, we'll go out there and win souls. And then you will bring visitors on Sunday morning. We can reach that. Amen.